Girl, me and you, we need to have a real conversation. No filters, no bluff. Me and you, keeping it real. So, before I start, my name is Winnie, and I like to do beauty, blog, commentary, and all that type of stuff. And I'm gonna talk why I stop following people, why I stop making myself a people pleaser, because I hate that shit. So, I'm just gonna start with the video. Don't leave. Me and you, we need to have that talk. And I want to hear in the comments if this happened to you. All right, let me start cracking. So basically, I grew up in a family where people needed to respect their parents and their elders. You didn't have no voice, you didn't have no opinions to express yourself. You had to follow. And when you are in that environment, you don't have no personality. And it's hard to open up with people. It's hard to have a normal human interaction with people because what you're learned to do is obey and not have a mind of your own. Do not speak out of control. Do not speak when you're allowed. I think I'm going a little bit extreme, but it's like you cannot speak something that might offend them if you're not allowed. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I was brought up in an African household where my parents would tell me to do something and I had to do it. And if I didn't do it, it had repercussions. And I learned in the hard way that I needed to do stuff real quick at their time, at their pace. I needed to do it because if I didn't do it,
I want to live! I want to live!
and so because I was the oldest daughter, I had to do everything. I had to wake up in the morning. I had to wake up in the morning, clean the house. When I mean clean the house, I had to sweep the house, sweep the toilet, sweep the room, everything I had to sweep. And on top of that, I will have to do the dishes if I didn't do the dishes in the night. Then I will have to make breakfast for my siblings and then carry them to school. That's what I had to do every day. I feel like most old daughters can relate to this because it's their responsibility. They always say that you are the second mom in the house, you are the second mom, so you have to have that mother bond with your siblings and so on. And for me, I just don't believe in that bullshit because at the end of the day, why would you want me to be a mother when I'm a child as well? And why would I want that? Why would you want that? I'm supposed to be a child. Why would I have to take care of kids when I'm a kid? And I always think about it. When my parents used to say that, I used to be like, I don't want that. I don't want to be their mother. I want to be their older sibling. English is not English for me because I'm getting aggravated. But I didn't want to be their mom. I'll only be their mom when there's no mom. But as long as you're there, I don't think I need to step up as a mom. And that kind of vexed me a lot. And they just kept making me feel like it's my responsibility. When I used to go to the park, and my parents used to tell me I need to carry my sibling and to the park. And my parents will be there in the park. My parents will be there sometimes. And I would want to play with my age mates, with my peer group. But because my parents be like, Winnie, you need to take care of your sibling in the park. Meanwhile, they are there. I would have to take off my sibling, play with my sibling, play with my little sister. And I would want to play other stuff like football, sports with my other friends. But every time I used to go to the park, I would have to play with my siblings. And I didn't end up having connection with people like that because every time that I expected to go outside, I knew that I would have to take care of my siblings. And I started hating to go to the park due to that reason because I knew every time that if I went to the park, I will have to take care of my siblings. So I stopped going to the park. That's why it's so hard for me to make friends because I'm socially awkward as well. And it's not like I'm socially awkward, but I feel like sometimes I do too much because I don't know what to expect from that person. So I'm trying to sell myself off so that people can like me because I'm trying to have a genuine connection. But because I don't really go out that much and make friends outside school, it's so hard for me to know people outside school. I hope I'm making sense. But that's why when it comes to certain things like making friends, I used to put myself down because my parents would make comment, "Oh, you're growing wings," every time that I don't feel or agree with them. So every time that I had argument with my parents or when I wanted to express an opinion, my parents will always try to humble me. They will always try to put me down and remind me I'm not old enough or I'm a child and I should never speak up or I should never express how I feel with my emotions. They always try to suppress my emotions. So when it comes to having now friends and I don't agree with them, sometimes it's hard for me to even show my emotion. That's what I learned during my whole entire life. That's what I learned during my entire life. So for me to now start doing that on a friendship and not come out in the wrong way, I will have to, I don't know, I will have to think twice or think 10 times before I do something that just turned out to be wrong. And most of the time, it does turn out to be wrong because I always react and I don't think first. And that sounds so dumb, but it is the truth. I just jump. I just, and I need to take a step back and express my emotion and make it respectful. But I just don't do that because I was never brought up, and it's not an excuse as well because it's something that I'm also learning to do. But I just don't, I just can't. I just can't because you will see the reaction on my face. You will see it on my personality that you did something to upset me. And then when you talk to me, I will just bite, I will just bust. So that's the reason why when people have tried to have a connection with me, they always make something that might trigger me off, and I will just let it pass because I used to be a people pleaser just for the fact that I knew that if I communicate and how I felt, I wouldn't be able to communicate it properly. More to that is the fact that every time I felt like I was pleasing people, I was losing more myself. It just felt like I didn't know myself anymore. There was a time that I would think to myself, I would be in my room and lay down on my bed and think like, Winnie, who the fuck are you? What do you want with your life? Is that how you want people treating you? Is that how you see yourself getting treated by others? Because one thing about being a people pleaser, people won't respect you until you put your damn boundaries. Rightfully right, because at the end of the day, people will just keep testing your limits. And if you don't set them straight, people just won't know. And they will just step over you. So I was just thinking to myself, Winnie, is this you? Is this the way that you want to get treated? Do you like the way that you're getting treated at home? And also you're taking shit from outside? No. So I just started to choose myself more. I started to express how I felt. It was hard. Even if I reacted, and this is something to break out from my shell. Because I didn't want to become someone that you can just toss around like I'm a piece of shit. Because I am not. Best believe me, I am not a piece of shit. So I didn't want that for myself. And I bet you don't want that for yourself either ways. You wouldn't want people to treat you like shit. So that's what I did. I just started opening up. And even to my parents, because there were certain points where it would just be madness in the house. It would be madness. I needed to cut it off. I needed to stop prioritizing myself more because it was affecting her and I was started to get more depressed. And that's what people don't say in African parents' household. Parents and people be like, oh, just stay in that African household. No, not they don't say African house, of course, but they'll be like, stay at home, you'll be able to save money, you'll be able to do this, you'll be able to do that. But when you don't have the right mental health, you won't be able to do nothing. There's many girls on TikTok saying that they wouldn't do stuff in their mom's house and their parents' house because they just feel lazy. They don't have the energy. But as soon as they get their own house, they start loving themselves more. They start cleaning the house more. The house feels clean and fresh. It feels like home to them because they're not in a place where it's just so much noise in their ears and so much stress that it's just leave you with no energy. And that's why most of the African parents or black, no, not African parents, black kids or African kids leave the house because it's just too much struggle. And also from that struggle, it just affects your social life. It affects on how you behave. It affects on how you talk, you speak. I'm saying the same shit, and I was about to say communicate. But you understand what I'm trying to say. It just affects everything when it comes to communicating with people. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes
Leaving the house and prioritizing yourself, even though money is going to cost you, is the best choice because it just affects on how you make healthy relationship with people.
I am a Nigerian Canadian and I'm an eldest daughter of an African.
So I don't usually talk about my mental health on my TikTok account that much.
I feel like as I've gotten older, something that I've kind of had to come to terms with is the fact that sometimes our African parents cannot be saved. Like, let me elaborate. I do not argue with my parents no more.
And it's the problem that I have with all these parents. You put so much into the kid that you feel like the kid owes you back. Why does your kid owe you back?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you haven't told your mama no, or you haven't talked back to her some way, and you let her run over you, we probably won't be friends. Like, you're not at that point yet where
Black parents always wonder why we never come talk to them or be open with them about anything in our life. It's because we cannot trust y'all. Y'all always be quick to go tell the family member what's going on in our life.
you have to try to understand where your parents are coming from. For example, my mother has anxiety.
And no matter how bad life get, I never smoke no fucking cigarette.
I stopped shrinking myself because I couldn't take the shit. Also, when you're having a relationship, men can see this. Wait, let me adjust my camera. Men can see this. Men can see that. Wait, give me a second. Men can see that you're vulnerable. They can say that you don't value yourself. So if they want to, they will just do that and leave. Literally, they will do that because they can see that you don't respect yourself. It's not that you don't respect yourself, but it's like you cannot speak out for yourself. So anything that involves you with talking to a man, they will know that you ain't standing up for yourself. And that's why you see so many African mothers, their husband will be doing nonsense behind their back, but they will still take that shit because they cannot speak up for themselves. And even if they speak up for themselves, they won't leave. Why? Because that's how they've been conditioned to take nonsense from their husband. And I look at myself and I knew I don't want to be that person. So I just had to change. It also affected me when making friendship. When I got to an excursion with Trip, and it will be like a trio, I will always be the one that get chosen last. And even though if it's not for group, four people, and we have to be in pairs, and the three girls we want to be by themselves, and I will still be left alone. Yes. And I always used to think, why nobody wants to be with me? I used to think that way. And it just kept making sense in the terms of that because I don't have basic it's not like I don't have a personality because I was funny. I was a funny friend. But it's just because I just didn't have more dimension to my persona. People didn't want to be around me. People just see me as a funny friend and nothing more. And I didn't want to be that person. I wanted to be a person that you can confide in, have fun time together, friendship level like this. So I wanted to be that type of friend, but people didn't used to see me like that. Also, when I came to the UK, I still the same trait that I had because I had a friendship group and I came to Sheffield. Then from Sheffield, I moved up to Scotland. And I would say people were fucking with me, but once I realized that they wouldn't put the same effort, I realized, wow, I did all this, help them, break my head just to help you to do, because we were going through GCSEs and all this thing, to do this for you. It was just being a good friend. So there was this guy that came from Nigeria and he moved from Sheffield to another city, right? And they knew this guy for less years. It wasn't even up to a year, but they were willing to take that visit and visit his friend. And it was like a 3-4 hours journey. For me, that moved to Scotland and it's still almost the same hours from Sheffield. They never did. Me sharing my secrets, them sharing their secret, me helping them, me standing behind them, doing everything to support them. None of them took the effort to visit me. It still hurts me because it's like, I love them so much. I was even sad that I was going to move to Scotland because I didn't want to move. I wanted to stay, go to sixth form with them, go to uni with them. I was sad because that wasn't going to be me anymore. It just pains me. So I just asked myself why they just don't show the effort for me. Why they don't put the same effort that they put on that guy they just met for a few couple months. So I just realized that they don't fuck with me like that. And that's why I started. From there, I started to say fuck everyone. Because there's so much thing that you can do in life. And one of them is not taking shit. Don't take shit from no one. If they literally see you suffering or are you having a hard time by yourself and they don't even pop to say hi, how you doing, just leave them alone. Because there's so much you can do in your life than just taking shit. I look at myself, I'm like, no, I'm not taking that. Say hi, how are you, and goodbye. Because I'm not investing in that friendship anymore. There's no point on me investing on that friendship. So yes, I just even stopped talking to them like that. Moral of the story is if you see that they're doing more enough for one person and not you, just leave it aside because that means they don't really like you. They like you to a certain extent to be in their friendship group, but that doesn't mean they see you as something else more. That's what I had to learn. And I knew from that I needed to stop taking certain things when it comes to my parents' relationship because I've been conditioned to think that everything is okay. When my siblings do it, it's okay because they're my siblings. So it's okay if my friends do it to me because that's what I've been conditioned to take. So that's what I'm saying. Stop taking shit from others. Stop being a people pleaser because when you realize that you start taking yourself first, people want to take you first. And that's the truth. Also, it's just literally give you less stress, to be honest. You don't have to be worrying about other people. So I had to learn. And that's why I don't really have that much of a big friendship group. I have a good set of people around me, but that doesn't mean I would say I have a big friendship group. No. And when there are certain things that you communicate and they keep disrespecting you, or they just take some of the information that you give them and they just disregard it, where I also cut my friendship, because people that cannot respect on what you say, they don't respect you as a person. When you are vulnerable with certain people, and they take that vulnerability as something else and they just step on it, cut them off. I'm a very big advocate on cutting people off if they disrespect you, honestly, especially when they waste your time. So that's why I stopped being a people pleaser, because people really mess up with your mental health. That's why I stop minimizing myself, because it's not good. So, girls or boys, if you are watching this, learn from my story. Don't minimize yourself, because people minimize you and they're going to make it worse. Trust me. So, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys like it and subscribe. Click the notification bell, share it, and I hope you have a blessed day. And if you don't subscribe, I'm coming from your party. I'm coming from your nyash.